it's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another great interview coming up for you shortly. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell down there if you haven't had a chance to do that yet. You're always going to be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And if you'd like to leave a comment on the comment section, you can do that as well. And we're on Facebook, so go to facebook.com/PaulMashTV. And you can follow us there, send us an inbox on anything you want to talk about, and even comment on the things there. And if you'd like to send us an email, you can. It's paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you're a band or a solo artist that want to be on the show, just email us and we'll tell you how to do that. But we love fan mail as well, so if you're just simply a fan, go ahead and drop us a line. We'll get back to you. And all this is going to be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Santa Barbara, California, we have Paull Rubin today. Another great artist, and I think you're going to agree. And we'll get to that in a second, but first here's a quick word from Galtar, the guitar made specifically for a woman. So don't go away, we'll be right back right after this.
Ready in 5.
Darling, when nothing else seems to match up. Galtar, the musical apparel that fits any outfit. Galtar, bringing heaven to earth, one gal at a time. GaltarHeaven.com.
Okay, we're back from commercial, and with us from Santa Barbara, California today, we have Paull Rubin. And I want to thank you for just coming on the show, Paul. We appreciate you coming.
Oh, thank you, Paul. I'm delighted to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And we want to thank Kathy Carlson. She's the one that set all this up. So,
oh, thank you, Cece. Thank you, Kathy.
Yes. Well, the first question I asked is because everybody has their own stories. So that's why I asked this question a lot. Tell us a little bit about how it all began for you as far as being an artist. I mean, I'm sure you always wanted to be an artist. Maybe you just fell into it later. I mean, like I said, everyone has their own story. Let's hear your story.
My grandpa, Leo, played the banjo mandolin like nobody's business. He was great. My grandma played a banjo ukulele, and my dad played tenor guitar, and my aunt played piano, Aunt Selma. So the four of them had a band called Four Rubes when they were when I wasn't born yet. But when I was 2 years old, I was just fascinated with watching them play music. So my grandpa popped a little Mickey Mouse wind up guitar in my hands when I was 2, and I just took to it like a duck to water, basically. And he taught me the basics of fretboard mechanics, and just took it from there. I took a side journey and played other instruments, clarinet and drums. But I came back to the guitar and the bass, and that's where my hands have been home pretty much my whole life. I started writing songs, I think, around 11 years old, very much inspired, of course, by John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison, and Bob Dylan. So and my grandfather was a wonderful poet as well. So I really, probably my biggest influence was my grandpa, I'd have to say.
Okay. And my next question was your influences, but I guess the Beatles and Bob Dylan
Oh,
were.
sure.
Did you have any others besides them?
I saw Elvis when I was 2 on the Ed Sullivan Show, from the waist up, and that got things shaken. And then I fell in love with the Everly Brothers, their harmonies, Buddy Holly, and then of course when the Beatles hit the Ed Sullivan stage, that was the end of my life as I knew it back then. I was instantly transformed into a Beatle maniac like so many others. And the Stones and Herman's Hermits. So I've become friends with Peter Noone over the years. He's not quite a neighbor, but he lives close by. And I recorded his daughter's EP, Natalie. And I've gotten a chance to work with a lot of people that I've looked up to over the years. And crash the party, so to speak, I guess. But yeah, I've been doing this a long time, and love doing it. It's so much fun to play music for people and to just amuse yourself more than anything.
Yeah, and that's true. And you mentioned the Everly Brothers. You know, they're a great band, and the Herman's Hermits. You know, with Peter Noon. You know, you can't go wrong with them.
No, no. Beatles were pretty much number one. And then as I got a little bit older, um, I discovered Grateful Dead and started going to Grateful Dead shows in my teens and never stopped. The music never stopped, as they say. And I got to open for Vince, who was a member of the Tubes, Vince Welnick, and Merle Saunders, who played the keyboards on Truckin' and Bertha and in the Jerry Garcia band. Got to go to Bill's house, Bill Kreutzmann, up over in Hawaii, played at a festival over there, and um, never got to meet Jerry, but he left a very big influence. He was a huge influence. The Allman Brothers band, certainly. Dwayne was number one. I'm a slide player, and you can't say enough great things about Skydog, Dwayne Allman, or Greg, who's my favorite vocalist. Him and Ray Charles. Um, but and the band, lots and lots of bands. I love progressive rock as well. The Yes and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, King Crimson, that kind of stuff, and classical music. Certainly, Beethoven and Bach, Mozart, even a wide variety of interests musically.
Yeah, there's so many great ones you mentioned. Again, you mentioned Ray Charles, the Grateful Dead. You know, with Jerry Garcia. You know, all those were really awesome bands, and I can see some of that in your sound too. So, uh, where can we find your music? I guess it's in all streaming platforms, right? I know you have some CDs you can sell, and tell us where you are on social media so we can follow you there.
Well, probably the easiest place to see the collection of CDs I've done over the years and some videos, lots of photographs. And of course, my motto is I'm always behind and forever under construction. But the website, if I may give that out, is at www.rubinhood.com, which is like Robin Hood, only with a U, RUBINHOOD.com. And that'll take you to the main page where you can actually hear the whole new CD completely free. I just put it up there for people to see it. Here it is. I did the cover artwork myself. That was kind of silly, but fun to do. It's called Ride On, and it's a pretty hard rock record. Sometimes I do more bluesy things and more Delta, dobro oriented stuff. This time I just had I think the Foo Fighters got to me finally, and I did get a chance to record a little bit with Rami Chaffee, the Foo's keyboard player. And they've been a big influence. I think they've almost single-handedly saved rock and roll. And Chris Shiflett is a Santa Barbara native. His brother Mike's a friend of mine. He's an incredible guitarist. The whole family of the Shifletts are great players. I think Spotify said my new CD is somewhere in the same vein as Foo Fighters. Todd Rundgren, who I also met when I was over in Hawaii. That was a thrill. And Grateful Dead, the Allman Brothers. So it's kind of a mixture of progressive and jam band, but really comes out me, which I'd rather have it just be me, but a lot of influences there.
Yeah.
And I'm also on Facebook, and I have two L's for real in my first name. My dad gave me Paull, the extra L just for the L of it. True story. True story. My dad wanted people to laugh, and they do. Also on Instagram, same name, Paull E. Rubin. I get called Paulie a lot because my middle initials E for Edmund. That was my grandpa's name on my mom's side. And Rubin, Rubin. So on Instagram or LinkedIn, Facebook, Um, Gosh, I forget what else is out there that I'm on. It's hard to keep up with all this. I'm kind of a one-man circus that goes this time and last couple of years, especially since the pandemic. I've just been traveling as a solo artist and playing with bands along the way in different cities where I've lived and have cultivated and maintained deep friendships and musical alliances in Eureka, Humboldt County, California, Eugene, Oregon, Santa Barbara, of course, Los Angeles. So it's San Francisco too. I have something coming up there the end of the month, and it's a little stressful doing it that way. Often there's no rehearsal. You just hit the stage and hope everyone's done their homework, and they hope I've done mine, and it usually is great. Usually there's little or no problems, and I'm very grateful for that, to be able to work with such wonderful players. And pretty tough to keep a really great band going these days, not having the cloud of a record label to be able to put everybody on retainer. So you just have to do the best you can. And so I don't play out as much as I used to, but that certainly has changed this last month. I've been on the road quite a bit, playing a lot of places.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody go to rubinhood.com, as he said. Maybe you can purchase a CD from him. I know he love you for that. Go to all those streaming sites and download his music as well, and follow him on all social media sites. And again, I know he would love you for that. So hope you do that today. And the video we're about to play for you in just a minute is called Fishing. I'm sure that's self-explanatory, but tell us a little story about that song.
Oh, gosh, I'm not much of a fisherman, although I enjoy it. The only time I really was successful at catching salmon was up in Alaska during a 2-week visit up there a few years ago. The video is from a Santa Barbara television program a few years ago. It's not brand new, but accompanying me is Mark Mann, who was a childhood friend. His sister was my girlfriend in high school, and we still are friends. Mark, I'm sure a lot of people will recognize him as the guy that nailed all the solos on the George Harrison song right before Prince came and stole the whole show. If you're familiar with that Guitar Gently Weeps phenomenon. Mark played with ELO and Oingo Boingo, done a lot of movies with Danny Elfman, and he brought me into a number of sessions to I'll help him out a little bit, I guess. And then George Harrison, the Concert for George was Mark doing all of George's parts. I did teach him how to play slide guitar, but when we play together, which hasn't been much these days, he's pretty busy, I'm pretty busy, but he leaves the slide playing to me. And so the song Fishing was, again, just done for a local Santa Barbara TV show, and just the two of us up there.
Okay, well, it is a great song, Paul, and I just thought I'd let you know that. And I think everybody out there is going to like it too, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But I think that's all the time we have for right now, Paul. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Come back anytime you want to come back for something new.
Thank you so much for having me, Paul. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And here it is, Fishing by Paull Rubin, and it begins right now.
Got a lot of fish in the ocean out here in Santa Barbara, right?
Really?
Plenty of fish in the ocean, they tell me.
There's plenty of fish in this
But not a
sea.
drop to drink, which is on the new CD, Headwaters. But right now we're going to do the opening tune from the last CD, Scarlet Forest. And
It's called?
This song's called Fishing. Waddled down the hallway, each foot stuck in the wrong loop. Got me a cup of coffee, put on my woolen cap, and while the truck was warming up, I took a little nap. The sun was coming up and the smoke got in my eyes, but I headed up the highway anyway in my fisherman disguise. Okay, I'm going fishing, hand me my trusty pole, down to the water, gonna bathe my soul. Gonna bathe my soul, yeah. The river beckons and I soon will cast my line. Even if I don't catch a fish, I'll still be feeling fine. The water rolls on by me and the geese call me by name. The trees, they seem to shrug and tell me every day's the same. But I'm going fishing. Have you seen my pole? Down to the water, my favorite fishing hole. Why don't you come with me? Maybe then you'll see. Even if we don't catch a fish, well baby, I got you, and you got me. Oh baby, baby, you got me. We can kick it in a boat, or down a muddy hill we'll slide. We can swim across the lake, but you'll get you on the other side. You can put on the lotion, give me that beer and bait, and whatever of the magic potion you got there. Let's go now and just get away. I'm going fishing, I'm in my trusty pole, down to the water, my favorite fishing hole. Why don't you come with me? Maybe then you'll see. Even if we don't catch a fish, oh baby, I got you, and you got me. You got me. Let's go fishing. Woo. Yeah, fishing. Keep on fishing. Bring it on home. When I'm on the lake, the river, or the sea, sit on the bank and I wait for the fish of the so patiently. The magic is in the air when the fish begin to bite, and I like to run my hands through your hair. If you say it's all right now, baby, I'm going fishing. Have you seen my pole? Down to the water, my favorite fishing hole. Why don't you come with me? Maybe then you'll see. Even if we don't catch a fish, oh baby, I got you. I'm going fishing, hand me my trusty pole, down to the water, my favorite fishing hole. Why don't you come with me? Maybe then you'll see. Even if we don't catch a fish, oh baby, I got you, and you got me. Fishing, baby. Go fishing, yeah.
We caught one. Woo! Nice, buddy.